I'm Jesse Gunderson, a sophomore and the Student Council Treasurer. Each year, one of the highlights of our veteran program is our guest speaker. This year, we have the privilege of having someone whose name personifies virtues such as honor, integrity, and steadfastness, Mr. Sam Smith. Sam served in the United States Navy as a machinist mate second-class petty officer on board the USS Louisville, a fast attack submarine stationed in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii from 1998 to 2002. Sam Smith is the owner of both off-grid armory and off-grid suppressors. He also graduated from Bagley High School in 1997. Sam has been married for 24 years to his wife, Karen Smith, also a Navy veteran. Sam and Karen have 7 children. Please welcome Sam Smith.
There, thank you. Good morning, Bagley Flyers. I am honored and humbled for the privilege to speak to you today. Yes, I graduated from this high school in 1997. We were the first class to graduate from this new school. A friend of mine and myself, we actually joined the U.S. Navy in that cafeteria in 1996 after school one day, and signed up for the submarine force in that cafeteria. So it's kind of cool how this goes full circle. I'm a Navy veteran who served on submarines from 1997 to 2002 on board the USS Louisville, based in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. But before I talk about my experience, let's talk about what is Veterans Day. On this day, in this month, in this hour, our nation remembers the moment when the guns of World War I went silent, and we recognize the service and the sacrifice of our nation's veterans. The holiday originated in 1919 as Armistice Day to commemorate the end of World War I on November 11th, 1918. The armistice was signed at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. World War I, or the war to end all wars, involved over 30 nations and claimed an estimated 16 military and civilian lives. From Valley Forge to Vietnam, from Kuwait to Kandahar, from Berlin to Baghdad, our veterans have borne the cost of war, and they have stood watch over America's peace. The American people are grateful to the veterans and all who have fought for freedom. On this Veterans Day, we give thanks to the 24 million Americans who have strengthened our nation with their example of service and sacrifice. Our nation's veterans are drawn from many generations and from many backgrounds. Some charged across great battlefields, some fought on the high seas, some patrolled the open skies. All contributed to the character and greatness of America. At this very moment, more than 1.3 million Americans are on active duty, serving in the cause of freedom and peace around the world. They are our nation's finest citizens. They confront grave danger to defend the safety and security of the American people. They've brought down tyrants, they've liberated nations, and they've helped bring freedom to more than 50 million people worldwide. Through their sacrifice, they're making our nation more safe and secure, and they are earning the proud title of veteran. So, do you think I knew about all this when I joined the Navy at the age of 17? Did any of my fellow veterans understand any of this when you joined? Probably not. We all joined for our own reasons. I personally joined right out of Bagley High for 3 reasons. First of all, I felt a deep duty to serve my country because every man in my family before me served. I come from a long line of warfighters. Secondly, I desperately wanted to travel and see the world. Being in the Navy on a warship definitely accomplished that. Lastly, I had a sense of adventure that needed to be satisfied. I'm sure most of you in this audience can relate. I chose the submarine force in particular because it was mysterious. I had never met anyone who had ever served on a submarine. I learned that it was risky, dangerous, and was a relatively small part of the U.S. Navy. I learned that it was a small elite group to get into, and I wanted it even more. Statistically, 1 out of every 14,000 people that serve in the military become a submariner. But I'm going to be honest with you. The real reason I chose submarines was because I watched the movie Hunt for Red October when I was in junior high school. Ironically enough, the submarine that I ended up being stationed on was actually in the movie Hunt for Red October. So that's pretty awesome. Seriously though, our lives are made up of a series of small decisions. These small decisions determine the course of your life. That small decision that I made when I was 17 was one of the best course changes in my life. Military service teaches discipline, being able to adhere to routines, timelines, protocols, leadership, how to take responsibility and make decisions, and to set an example. Communication, being able to communicate with anyone and solve problems. Determination. Military service can make you a more determined person to be successful and passionate about what you do. It gives you the mindset of never quit, never give up. Honestly, if you're a young person in here today, and I think most of you are, and you'd like to discover what you're made of, serving your country will reveal it. When I checked on board the USS Louisville on April 8th, 1998, I had no idea what I was in for. Yes, I came on board the Louisville, already trained with an intimate knowledge of her internal workings and systems such as steering and diving, nuclear propulsion, sonar, hydraulics, steam turbine system, damage control, firefighting, flooding, escaping from a disabled submarine. They teach all this in basic enlisted submarine school. What I didn't know was the crew of the Louisville. These men changed my life. When men and women are placed in an extreme and intense environment, strong bonds are formed. I often tell folks before I went into the Navy, I had 2 sisters. When I left Louisville, I had 2 sisters and 108 brothers. So what does a submarine do? What is the purpose of having a submarine fleet? Well, during World War II, U.S. submarines, once considered to be ungentlemanly warfare, destroyed 1,314 enemy warships in the Pacific, representing 55% of all Axis power warships lost. Submarines were a significant factor in winning World War I and II. This did come at a high cost, though. The U.S. Navy submarine service suffered the highest casualty percentage of any American forces in World War II. We lost 52 submarines just in World War II. The Louisville, which I was on, was a fast attack submarine specifically designed to hunt and destroy enemy submarines and warships. It also had vertical launch capability, so we could launch Tomahawks at land targets. In fact, the Louisville was the first submarine in history to launch Tomahawks in a time of war during the First Gulf War. We were also used to gather intelligence. We would carry linguists to listen to enemy transmissions and watch enemy ports in their waters. We would also deliver specialists to enemy shores and pick them up when they were done with their mission. One of the most crucial roles U.S. submarines play is nuclear deterrence. Right now, as I speak, 14 ballistic missile submarines are deployed, stalking through the waters, ensuring a first strike never happens. And 53 fast attack submarines are protecting aircraft carriers, other fleet warships, and our American shores from an enemy attack. Submarines play a critical role in maintaining world peace and ensuring freedom and democracy here in the United States and with our allies abroad. It is my sincere hope that some of you one day will be sitting up here with these men and women who risked their lives and put their lives on the line so that our nation might remain free. I thank you, Bagley Flyers, my home team, for honoring these men and women who serve, and for honoring those who have set such a sterling example, our nation's veterans. May God bless our veterans. May God bless all who wear the uniform. and may God continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sam Smith, for being here today and sharing with us. We appreciate it. And now, the Bagley High School Band, under